Imagine, just for a moment, that your mind is a magnet, a living force that draws money not from the world of struggle, but from the infinite realm of imagination and belief. You do not chase wealth, you become a beacon that attracts it effortlessly. The law of assumption tells us this is not a fantasy, but a simple natural law. Your outer world is but a reflection of your inner state. What you assume to be true in your mind with feeling and conviction must manifest in your life. You hold the power to turn your mind into a money magnet, and it takes only 3 minutes to begin. Close your eyes now and see yourself already possessing the money you desire. Feel the weight of it in your hands. Hear the sound of abundance flowing into your life. This feeling, this living assumption, is the seed that grows into reality. The outer world is but a shadow. It follows the lead of your imagination. Do not think about lack. Do not focus on the absence of money. Instead, dwell in the state of having it, in the joy of receiving it now. As you do this, you awaken the subconscious mind, which works day and night to fulfill your assumption. In these 3 minutes, you create a sacred ritual. You shut out all doubt and resistance. You affirm, I am a money magnet. Wealth flows to me easily and freely. Speak it as if it were true now. Because it is, the subconscious cannot distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. With feeling, it will act on your command, rearranging circumstances and attracting opportunities that reflect your inner reality. Know this: your mind's focus is the architect of your life. What you imagine with feeling, you become. The money you seek is not found in struggle or external effort, but in the unshakable assumption of its presence in your world. Return daily to this ritual and watch as your life transforms. The law does not fail, it only requires your unwavering belief. The outer world is a mirror of your inner assumptions and feelings. Feeling the reality of wealth now activates your subconscious to manifest it. The law of assumption works through living in the state of the wish fulfilled. A daily focused ritual of assumption strengthens your money. Attracting mindset. Your mind is a powerful magnet. What you dwell on with emotion draws to you. The world you see around you, with all its shapes, forms, and circumstances, is not a fixed, independent reality. It is a reflection, a mirror held up to the deepest recesses of your mind. What you witness outside is the projection of what you carry within. This is the fundamental truth upon which all transformation is built. The outer world cannot contradict your inner assumptions. It merely reveals them. To change your reality, you do not need to fight the world, you only need to change your inner belief and feeling. This is the secret that few grasp, yet it is the key to mastery over life. Every event, every condition, every encounter is a reflection of your internal state of consciousness. Your mind, your feelings, your beliefs are the invisible architects of your experience. When you look out into the world and see lack, limitation, or difficulty, it is because somewhere inside you have assumed or accepted such states as true. The world cannot deny what you feel. It moves in perfect harmony with your consciousness. The law that governs this is absolute and unyielding. It does not waver because it is the law of cause and effect in the realm of thought and feeling. To understand this more deeply, imagine your mind as a fertile field, and your thoughts and feelings are the seeds you plant there. If you plant seeds of poverty, fear, and doubt, then your harvest will be the fruits of those seeds. Scarcity, struggle, and limitation. But if you plant seeds of abundance, faith, and certainty, your field will blossom with wealth, ease, and opportunity. The outer world is simply the harvest of your inner planting. You do not need to plead or bargain with the outside. It responds unfailingly to the climate you create within. You might say, but I see others who have more money or success. How does this fit into the picture? What you must realize is that their outer reality is also a reflection of their inner world. The conditions you observe are not fixed truths, but temporary shadows that can change as the underlying assumptions shift. What appears permanent is only the surface expression of thoughts and feelings beneath. When your mind changes its tune and begins to sing the song of abundance, your external circumstances must align accordingly. The universe is but a vast echo chamber, reverberating the notes you send forth. This understanding empowers you to become the master of your fate. No longer are you a passive victim of circumstances or other people's actions. Instead, you take full responsibility for your inner state, knowing that this is the cause of your outer condition. This is the doorway to freedom because it places the power squarely in your hand. You can choose what to believe, what to feel, and what to assume about yourself and your world. When you assume the feeling of wealth, of success, and of happiness, you are planting seeds that will inevitably bear fruit. The mind does not distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is experienced through the senses when the imagination is accompanied by feeling. This is why your inner life is so potent. You create the reality you live in by how you live in your imagination and what you assume to be true. If you want to transform your experience, you must first change the mental pictures and feelings you dwell upon. To see yourself as wealthy and prosperous is to give the signal to your subconscious to bring this into manifestation. The subconscious acts upon your assumptions as command. To practice this consciously, begin by watching your thoughts and feelings carefully. Notice what assumptions you carry about money, success, and your ability to receive them. Are they filled with hope or doubt, with expectation or fear? Your outer life will follow this inner map exactly. Begin to change these assumptions by deliberately imagining and feeling what you desire as if it were already real. Do this with conviction, with passion, with the certainty that the world cannot deny. You may find resistance at first. Old beliefs and conditioning may try to pull you back. This is natural because the subconscious mind clings to familiar patterns, but remember, change begins with persistence. Continue to feed your mind with the new assumption. Nourish it daily with vivid imagination and heartfelt feeling. Let your inner world become a sanctuary of abundance, where doubt cannot enter. Over time, as your inner state shifts, your external world will begin to change. You will notice opportunities appearing, people responding differently, circumstances rearranging to reflect your new state of mind. This is the proof of the principle at work. Your inner assumption is the seed, the outer world is the harvest. Understanding this relationship between inner assumption and outer manifestation is the foundation for any meaningful change in life. It is the key to unlocking unlimited abundance, peace, and fulfillment. When you fully grasp that the world you experience is a reflection of your own mind, you step into the role of a conscious creator, able to shape your destiny with the power of your imagination and feeling. Your task then is to cultivate your inner world with care and attention. Feed it only with thoughts and feelings that serve your highest good. Make your mind a fertile garden for wealth, success, and happiness. As you do, the mirror of your outer life will begin to shine with the reflection of your new, empowered state. This is not wishful thinking, it is the natural order of life revealed to those who dare to assume a new reality and live within it with faith. The power to transform your world lies not in external conditions, but within the sanctuary of your mind and heart. Change your assumptions, change your life. To understand the power of feeling as the creative force behind manifestation is to unlock a door into a new way of living, one where your desires are no longer distant hopes, but immediate realities. The mind alone, through thought, is not enough to bring about true change. It is feeling the vivid, intense emotion that accompanies a belief that sets the wheels of creation in motion. This feeling is not mere sentiment, it is the force that impresses the subconscious, the fertile ground from which all reality sprouts. Consider how often you have wished for something and thought about it without it coming to pass. Thought alone without feeling is like planting seeds on barren soil. They will not take root. But when you add feeling, when you truly live in the sensation of having what you desire, you enrich the soil, allowing the seed to germinate and grow. Feeling is the language the subconscious understands. It cannot be fooled by mere intellectual ideas or vague hopes. It responds only to the emotional reality you create within. When you feel the reality of your desire now, as though it is already fulfilled, you send a clear and undeniable signal to your subconscious. This signal becomes a command, an instruction for your subconscious to bring about the conditions that match your inner state. The subconscious is not a skeptic. It acts faithfully on whatever you impress upon it. It does not question the feasibility or timing. It simply moves to realize the reality that you have accepted as true in your feeling world. The secret then is to cultivate the feeling of the wish fulfilled. To close your eyes and imagine not just the image of your desire, but the rich, full feeling of having it now. If you desire wealth, do not merely think of money. Feel the security, the freedom, the joy it brings. If you desire success, feel the pride, the confidence, and the satisfaction that success imparts. This feeling is the key that unlocks the door to manifestation. This process requires a shift in consciousness from longing in the future to living in the now of fulfillment. It is not about hoping or wishing for something to come someday. It is about stepping into the state where your desire is already a fact. This shift in feeling is the most powerful catalyst for change because it aligns your entire being with the reality you want to experience. Often people resist this because it feels unnatural or dishonest to feel as though they already have what they want when their current reality says otherwise. But this resistance is simply the weight of old habits and conditioning. The truth is that the subconscious mind does not distinguish between real and imagined when the imagination is accompanied by feeling. The emotional charge is what gives imagination its creative power. When you persist in feeling the reality of your wish fulfilled, you gradually replace old, limiting beliefs with new, empowering ones. Your subconscious begins to act on these new beliefs, changing your perception, your behavior, and the opportunities you attract. Your outer world shifts to reflect the new inner reality. This transformation is not instant in the physical sense, but it is immediate in the realm of consciousness. You can practice this by setting aside time each day to dwell in the feeling of your fulfilled desire. Create a quiet moment where you close your eyes and immerse yourself in the sensation of having what you want. Engage all your senses. See the scene, hear the sounds, feel the textures, smell the air, taste the joy, let the feeling fill you completely. This is the secret ritual that changes your subconscious programming. It is important to understand that this feeling must be natural and believable to you. Forced or superficial emotions will not impress the subconscious effectively. You must cultivate a genuine inner conviction, a heartfelt acceptance of the reality you desire. This comes with practice and patience as you learn to detach from your current circumstances and step fully into the imagined state. As you continue this practice, you will notice subtle changes. Your mood will lift, your confidence will grow, and your awareness will sharpen to notice opportunities that align with your inner state. These are signs that the subconscious is working to bring your assumption into the physical realm. You become a co-creator with the unseen forces guiding your life through the power of feeling. Remember, the subconscious mind is a faithful servant. It acts not on commands given out of desperation or doubt, but on the sustained feelings of certainty and fulfillment. When you assume the feeling of your desire already realized, you activate this servant to do its perfect work. The reality you desire begins to unfold naturally, effortlessly, and inevitably. This principle, once understood and applied, transforms the way you approach life. You no longer depend on external events or people to bring you happiness or success. Instead, you generate your own reality from within. Feeling is the secret, more than thought, more than action. It is the living essence of creation, the energy that shapes worlds. When you grasp this truth deeply, you become the master of your fate. You realize that the wealth, love, success, or peace you seek is already yours in the realm of feeling. The outer world will follow, reflecting what you have accepted as real in your heart and mind. This is the power you hold, the power to turn imagination into experience, feeling into reality, and desire into fulfillment. To live in the state of the wish fulfilled is to embody a profound shift in consciousness, a deliberate and conscious choice to inhabit the reality you desire before it appears in your physical experience. This concept is not about wishful thinking or passive dreaming. It is an active, purposeful assumption of the end result as if it were already true. When you do this, you align your entire being, your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the reality you seek, setting into motion the invisible forces that bring this assumed state into manifestation. The idea begins with understanding that your inner state is the cause of your outer world. What you believe and feel deep within shapes the experiences you attract. To live in the state of the wish fulfilled means to carry the mental and emotional impression of your desire as a present fact. This is not a future possibility, but a current reality in your imagination. By consistently dwelling in this state, you impress your subconscious mind with the undeniable truth of your assumption, which then moves to externalize it in your life. This practice demands clarity and focus. You must know exactly what you desire and be able to create a vivid mental scene that implies the fulfillment of your wish. This scene acts as a doorway into the assumed state, a portal through which your consciousness steps into the experience of having what you want. It must be specific and sensory-rich so that it feels real and immediate. The more detailed and believable this scene is, the more power it has to influence your subconscious mind. Once the scene is created, your role is to enter it emotionally. Feel the emotions that would naturally arise if your desire were already fulfilled. Joy, gratitude, satisfaction, peace, or excitement. These feelings are the language of the subconscious mind, the currency that buys reality. Without feeling, the scene is merely a mental image without power. With feeling, it becomes a living experience that changes your inner state and, by extension, your outer circumstances. Living in the state of the wish fulfilled also requires detachment from the current reality that seems contrary to your desire. This does not mean ignoring your present circumstances or pretending they do not exist. Rather, it means recognizing that your current conditions are not permanent truths, but temporary reflections of past assumptions. By consciously shifting your attention and feeling to the desired state, you gradually dissolve the old impressions and replace them with new ones aligned with your goal. This shift is not always easy because the subconscious mind resists change. It holds tightly to familiar beliefs and patterns because they provide a sense of security. To overcome this resistance, you must persistently return to the assumed state, especially when doubt or discouragement arises. Repetition and consistency are key. The more often you live in the feeling of your fulfilled desire, the stronger the impression on your subconscious until it becomes the dominant reality in your mind. This inner reality then begins to influence your thoughts, decisions, and actions. Naturally, you start to behave as if your desire is already true, which changes your energy and presence. This transformation is noticed by others and alters the opportunities and circumstances that come your way. The world outside cannot help but conform to the new pattern you have established within yourself. To assist in maintaining this state, it is helpful to develop a ritual or practice that anchors you in the feeling of fulfillment. This could be a daily visualization, a moment of gratitude, or a simple affirmation spoken with conviction. These practices serve as reminders and reinforcements of your assumption, preventing your mind from drifting back into old patterns of lack or limitation. It is important to approach this with faith and patience. Manifestation is not always instantaneous in the physical sense, but it is immediate in the realm of consciousness. The moment you accept the wish fulfilled within your mind, the unseen forces begin to move. Your task is to persist in this state without anxiety or impatience, trusting that the outer world will catch up to your inner reality in perfect timing. By living in the state of the wish fulfilled, you take command of your creative power. You cease to be a passive observer of life's events and become an active participant in shaping your destiny. This is the essence of mastery, the ability to consciously choose your inner state and thereby influence your external world. This understanding also frees you from the tyranny of circumstances, No matter what appears to be happening around you, your true power lies in your ability to assume and live in the desired state. The outer world is simply a reflection of your inner landscape. And by changing your inner landscape, you change your life. The practice of living in the state of the wish fulfilled transforms your relationship with time and reality. You move beyond waiting for something to happen into the realization that it has already happened within your consciousness. This shift from future hope to present certainty is the doorway to manifestation. Ultimately, this principle teaches that your imagination is not a playground of fantasy, but the creative force behind your experience. When you live in the state of the wish fulfilled, you harness this force consciously, directing it to bring forth the life you desire. It is a sacred practice of creation that empowers you to transcend limitations and step into the fullness of your potential. To cultivate a daily focused ritual of assumption is to engage in a sacred practice of consciously impressing your subconscious mind with the reality you desire. This ritual is not a mere routine, but a deliberate and consistent act of faith, imagination, and feeling that sets the stage for transformation. It is through this repeated, concentrated effort that you build the mental and emotional momentum necessary to rewrite the story your life tells. The subconscious mind is like a fertile garden that responds to what is planted within it. A single seed may not sprout immediately, but when nurtured regularly, it grows into a robust and flourishing tree. Similarly, your assumptions and beliefs, when consistently impressed upon the subconscious, take root and begin to manifest in your physical experience. This is why the daily ritual is so vital. It feeds your inner garden with the thoughts and feelings of your fulfilled desire until they become your dominant reality. Creating such a ritual begins with the conscious decision to set aside time each day to engage with your imagination and feeling. It could be a quiet moment in the morning, a pause before sleep, or any time you can be alone and undisturbed. During this time, you deliberately enter the state of the wish fulfilled, vividly imagining a scene that implies your desire has already been realized. This scene is not a fleeting thought, but a detailed experience rich with sensory information and emotional intensity. The power of this ritual lies in its regularity and depth. The subconscious does not respond well to casual or inconsistent impression. It requires clarity and conviction repeated day after day. The more you return to your assumed state with feeling, the stronger the impression becomes. Like a hammer shaping metal, the persistent force of your ritual reshapes the subconscious mind, breaking down old limiting beliefs and replacing them with new empowering ones. It is important to approach this ritual with sincerity and belief. Going through the motions without genuine feeling will not suffice. The subconscious mind is a faithful servant, but not a fool. It recognizes authenticity and responds accordingly. Therefore, when you engage in your ritual, immerse yourself fully in the experience. Feel the emotions associated with having your desire fulfilled. Joy, gratitude, relief, excitement. These feelings are the essence of your creative power and the key to impressing your subconscious. This daily practice also serves to align your conscious mind with your subconscious desire. Often the conscious mind doubts or contradicts what the subconscious has accepted. The ritual acts as a bridge, bringing coherence and harmony between these two parts of your being. As they come into agreement, your internal world becomes unified and your manifestation becomes inevitable. The ritual of assumption is not merely about imagination, but about embodying the state of being that corresponds to your desire. When you perform this practice consistently, you begin to live in that state throughout your day, even outside your meditation or visualizing. Your thoughts, words, and actions begin to reflect the new reality you are creating. You carry the feeling of fulfillment with you, which influences how you interact with the world and how the world responds to you. Manifestation is a process that unfolds in its own perfect timing. The daily ritual keeps your faith alive and your attention focused on the end result, even when physical evidence is not yet visible. This steady focus prevents discouragement and keeps you from slipping back into old patterns of doubt or negativity. Over time, the cumulative effect of your daily ritual becomes a powerful force that shapes your reality. It creates a momentum that the universe cannot resist. Opportunities, people, and circumstances begin to align with your inner assumption, often in ways that surprise and delight you. The outer world becomes a faithful reflection of the inner state you have cultivated through your persistent practice. In essence, the daily ritual of assumption is a sacred dialogue between you and your subconscious mind. It is a conversation conducted through imagination and feeling, where you tell your inner world the story you wish to live. This story, when told with conviction and consistency, rewrites your experience and brings forth the life you envision. To maximize the effectiveness of this ritual, consider incorporating supportive elements such as affirmations, gratitude, and visualization. Affirmations, spoken with belief, reinforce your assumed state. Gratitude opens your heart and amplifies positive feelings, creating a receptive inner environment. Visualization aids, like vision boards or written scenes, help keep your focus sharp and your imagination vivid. Ultimately, this daily focused ritual of assumption is not about forcing or controlling, but about consciously directing your inner state. It is a practice of alignment, faith, and creative power. By dedicating yourself to this ritual, you become the artist of your life, painting the canvas of your reality with the colors of your desire, until the image you hold within becomes the world you live without. Your mind is a powerful magnet, and like any magnet, it attracts what is closest to it. This attraction is not governed by chance or external circumstances, but by the thoughts and emotions that you carry within. Understanding that what you dwell upon with feeling draws to you is the gateway to mastery over your reality. The principle is simple yet profound. Energy flows where attention goes, and your feelings give that attention its creative force. It is constantly emitting vibrations, waves of thought and feeling that reach out and pull similar vibrations back to you. These vibrations shape your experiences, the people you meet, and the circumstances you encounter. When your inner world is filled with doubts, fears, and negative expectations, you magnetize situations that echo those states. Conversely, when your mind is filled with confidence, abundance, and positivity, it draws to you corresponding reality. This law of attraction works with unerring precision because it is a natural law of the mental and emotional realm. Like a lodestone that pulls iron filings, your inner focus acts as a force that organizes your external world. It is not magic or wishful thinking, it is the consistent outcome of your mental and emotional patterns. You become a magnet not by what you want or say, but by what you truly believe and feel inside. The feelings that you nurture are the key to this magnetic power. Thought alone is direction, but feeling is fuel. Imagine trying to power a vehicle with only direction but no energy. It would never move. Similarly, your desires must be charged with the feeling of reality to gain momentum. When you feel deeply that what you desire is already yours, your magnetic force grows exponentially. This feeling acts like a beacon, signaling to the universe what to bring into your life. The practice then is to become conscious of what you dwell upon and to deliberately choose thoughts and feelings that serve your highest good. Observe your habitual mental patterns. Are they attracting what you want or what you fear? Are your feelings aligned with your goals, or are they contradicting them? This awareness is the first step toward taking control of your magnetic power. Next, cultivate the feeling of your desired state as if it were already present. This means living in the emotional reality of your fulfilled wish, not waiting for evidence in the physical world before you feel worthy or grateful. When you do this, you shift your entire vibrational frequency to match your desire. This shift begins an irresistible pull toward the conditions and people that resonate with your new state. It is also important to guard against negative or contradictory feelings that weaken your magnetic force. Doubt, fear, resentment, or impatience act like interference, scattering your energy and diluting your attraction. These feelings create conflicting signals that confuse the subconscious and the unseen forces that respond to your inner state. To maintain a strong magnetism, you must cultivate emotional discipline, gently redirecting your focus to constructive and empowering feelings. One practical way to strengthen your magnetic mind is through repetition and practice. Regularly engaging in visualization, affirmations, and emotional rehearsals of your desired state reinforces your inner beliefs and feelings. These practices act like a magnetizer that repeatedly strengthens your mental field until it becomes unshakable. The more you do this, the more natural it becomes to dwell in a state of expectancy and confidence. You will notice that as your inner magnetism grows, the outer world begins to reflect this change. Opportunities appear, relationships improve, and circumstances align with your desires in ways that often seem miraculous, but are simply the law at work. Your magnetic mind has drawn to you what you have been consistently feeling and believing. Remember, the power of your mind as a magnet is not limited by external conditions. It transcends time, space, and physical limitations. Whether your desire is financial abundance, loving relationships, or personal success, the same principle applies. The emotions you carry create an energetic signature that the universe matches with corresponding experiences. This understanding frees you from the role of a passive victim of circumstance. You become an active creator of your life, consciously directing the magnetic forces within you. By choosing your feelings and thoughts with care and intention, you shape the reality you experience. This is the profound secret of attraction, the recognition that what you dwell upon with emotion is what you inevitably draw to yourself. In essence, your mind is a magnet that constantly pulls from the infinite supply of the universe. To harness this power, you must be vigilant about your inner state. Cultivate feelings that align with your desires. Dismiss those that contradict them, and maintain a steady, unwavering focus on the reality you wish to experience. This practice will transform your life, turning your mind into a powerful money magnet that draws abundance effortlessly to you. When you fully grasp that your outer world is a mirror of your inner assumptions, you unlock the power to reshape your reality from within. Feeling is the creative force that breathes life into your desires. And by living in the state of the wish fulfilled, you align yourself with the very essence of manifestation. Through a daily focused ritual of assumption, you reinforce these inner truths, nurturing your subconscious to work tirelessly on your behalf. Your mind, charged with consistent feeling and belief, becomes an irresistible magnet, drawing to you the wealth, success, and abundance you have imagined and felt as real. The power to transform your life is not held by chance or circumstance, but by your conscious choice to assume, feel, and live the reality you desire.